It's the new year, which means it's time for some resolutions. This year, my resolution is learning how to do the robot. Also, I'm going to update my COVID vaccine booster. An updated COVID vaccine boosts your protection against severe illness, hospitalization, and the worst outcomes of COVID. Find updated vaccines at vaccines.gov. We can do this. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. From what I've observed, like, oh, okay, they do seem to be doing okay. But sometimes they're like, no, this is a horrible idea.
Yeah.
And I don't know why you guys are like trying to do this, make this happen, because it'll like prove that you're like a bigger person. But fuck that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, some people, they just need to die in your life. Welcome to the show, everybody. This is the Asian Not Asian podcast, the podcast with all your favorite Asian friends / some ASMR today.
Yeah.
We're doing a little hot dog ASMR for y'all.
I'm finishing my hot dog bun. I've never eaten on camera like this,
What?
on microphone like this.
And we're putting this on the main. We're not even putting this behind a paywall,
Yeah.
which we totally should.
Yeah.
we're
But
just
if
gonna-
I start, if the views shoot up because of this, I'm doing this. I'm going to make
Are
money
you?
off it. I'm going to make ASMR content. I've been really into ASMR.
Do you remember? Do you remember there was for a while, like this is at the very beginning of weird Instagram content.
Mm-hmm.
Bread Girl. Do you remember her?
Is she the one who smashes her face
Yes.
into bread?
Yes.
Yes.
I tried to interview her back when I was a contributor for NBC because I was looking at the videos and you can't see her face, but I could tell she was Asian.
Just like a vibe.
I could just tell. I was
Mhm.
like, look at that hair, look at that middle part.
Yeah.
And I was like, this person's Asian.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder whatever happened to Bread Girl. You know?
Did it just fall apart? Okay, this is a conversation that the guest absolutely would want to get in on. I can see.
Okay, we'll
from
bring
her
it back.
face. We'll bring it back.
We'll bring it back. We'll bring it back. Just some quick announcements up top here. Hack City is the next one is May 12th. This is it's April 8th right now, so you'll be there's one next week and then there's one May 12th. So come check out Hack City May 12th. Email us if you want to do some Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month stuff with us. We've got some space. We're doing a few things, and it'll be nice and it'll be fun to come and do a little talk at your organization. We can do all sorts of different things. We also have this thing. I need to talk to Jenny about it, but there's something I want to try to do for May. I think it's. I'm excited about it. It has nothing to do with comedy. It's supposed to be a good thing.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Okay.
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Finally, please leave us a review. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, you can leave a review. Hit 5 stars. Give it a little comment. Give it a little shout out. And if you are on Spotify, you can follow us. I think you can rate us now, so you can leave us a review there as well. And if you're on YouTube, hello YouTube, then you can comment and tell us if we should switch to becoming an ASMR only content channel. I feel we've missed the boat on ASMR.
Yeah, it's really saturated now.
I think we've kind of missed it.
There's a lot of ASMR artists out there.
Can I tell you that my favorite ASMR thing is neck cracking from chiropractors?
I think we've talked about this. It's
Yeah.
the cracking.
I
Oh,
love cracking.
no.
I love me some cracking.
Really?
But now the
It feels
content has become dominated. The space has become dominated by this one guy who he goes around getting his neck cracked all over the place, like from I don't know, like Indian barbers. It's
Yeah.
very, very particular.
One guy. Okay.
But it's like he's dominates the algorithm. So
I see.
if you look up neck cracking videos, it used to be like a whole bunch of different chiropractors.
Yeah.
And now it's just this guy.
I see.
And hey, he's got a good neck crack going, but
You're getting bored.
I'm bored.
Yeah, you want something new.
yeah,
Okay.
give me something else.
So maybe if you know anyone else, comment. I don't know where below is.
Below.
Comment below.
Comment below if you know a solid ASMR neck crack content creator that I would love
Let us know.
to see. Jenny, it's been a minute.
I know it's been a while.
We haven't, because you were away for a little bit. Mary, you weren't here with Mary H.
Yeah.
before.
So can I just say something?
Yes.
I have listened to the episode,
Yeah.
and I was so annoyed that I wasn't there because she touched on Heat Tech and Hoka's, which are like my two staples.
Yo, her fit was insanity.
But I love Heat Tech. I
I know
love
you love Heat Tech.
Heat
You know,
Tech.
you're an
I'm
Asian
wearing
woman.
Heat Tech right now.
Asian women love Heat Tech.
I love Heat Tech.
It's designed for y'all.
I think about Heat Tech a lot. Most of the time I'm thinking about heat tech.
Most of the time.
And so when I was listening, I was like, oh, like I wish I was there. And then when she said Hoka's, I was like, I'm wearing Hoka's right now. I'm not wearing Hoka's right now, but I usually am wearing Hoka's.
Oh, okay.
I love Hoka's.
Yeah.
So I really, really missed out on that conversation. But let me just say the reason why I missed out was because of I think our guest and I got sick at the same time. When we were out, you were
right.
you were like, Jenny's gone because she was being a young person out. Well, I was being a young person with our guest.
That's right.
And that's why I missed out on that week, and then I was gone for 2 more weeks.
Yeah,
after
your
that.
voice, like you said, your voice was all messed up.
Yeah, I lost my voice.
That went around. I think I definitely remember that. Yeah, we'll have her back on because this is her podcast now, and I'm just keeping it warm.
Yeah,
I'm just keeping her seat warm.
The seat warm
because she was amazing, and her energy's crazy. It was really fun. Please check out that episode. It's the one I think before this one.
Yes.
Because it was, I don't know, I felt very vulnerable doing it. I felt like I was like kind of saying all these things that were like in my mind, and she was just coming back at me. There's very few times I feel where something happens, like there's a moment that happens, and like I turned a corner, and it felt like I was like, oh, I gotta really think about the stuff she said. I went and I always listen to the podcast because I have to go and make sure the edits is good. But this one I like stopped and I like took notes almost. You know? I was like, she was saying shit that was like I didn't even know you could say out loud.
Yeah.
You know. So please check out that episode. It's a really interesting one, and we do talk about heat tech.
Yes.
And
which is very important to me.
This is a heat tech podcast now. We want to do some quick Patreon shout outs. Patreon is the best way to support the podcast. If you contribute to Patreon, you get a shout out on the podcast, and it's a lot of fun. And we can try to give you a little backstory. We'll do this quick. We have a few actually. We've been getting some, and so we had to split them up. So if you're contributing, just hang on, and we'll be getting to you soon. So these are tricky. People are onto our shit.
Yeah.
So now we just have. Here's the first one, Elaine.
Yeah, this is so difficult. Just Elaine.
Just Elaine. Just Elaine.
Oh my God, I can only think of Seinfeld. She is a account manager.
Wow, okay, yes, account manager.
At a health tech company.
Oh, she's in health tech.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's 23.
Oh. Just starting her career.
Yeah, she just started. She was named because her parents were such a huge fans of Seinfeld.
Oh, nice.
And she just, I'm so sorry, Elaine. She was just laid off.
Oh, fuck.
And so, but it's okay because the timing of it was like coinciding with her like post-college identity crisis.
Yes.
And so she's like, actually, maybe this is the sign that I need to do my ceramics. And sell it on Etsy.
So now she's doing ceramics.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking she's kind of doing ceramics where it's like, is it a cup? Is it a vagina? I don't know.
Yeah, it makes you think.
Yeah.
It's a new take on ceramics.
It's a new take on ceramics.
Yeah.
And it's I will say too, I'm getting the sense it's not going well. It's not going well. She might have to go back to health tech soon.
Yeah, but she's finding comfort in the fact that I'm going through something similar.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you very much for that, and good luck with your ceramics, Elaine.
Yeah.
The next one is LJN.
LJN, you guys, this is so unfair.
LJN.
It sounds like JVN.
What is JVN?
Jonathan Van Ness, the hairstylist from
Queer Eye. Okay. Okay, maybe this person's a hairstylist.
Yeah.
I think this
Okay,
person...
so you take the lead here.
Okay, this one, British Malaysian hairstylist.
Okay.
Okay. Came, grew up in Liverpool.
Yeah.
Comes from a Chinese, Malaysian background. Moved to England, moved to like London, live like area, like for I'm trying to think of how British people talk. Like for she did her A pluses. What are they? Class A's, whatever the fuck they're called.
I don't know idea. I don't know anything about culture.
I don't know. It's some shit that they do over there. I guess it's like the equivalent of taking the SATs.
Got it.
So she did that, but then she realized that she really wanted to do hair. And so now she's doing a lot of hair stuff. Decided to move to New York City because she has a really good friend who has like a studio here.
Yeah.
And is like, you know what? Where are people doing cutting edge Asian hair?
It's here.
It's here.
It's here, baby.
It's the East Village.
It's the East Village.
And they are, and I think she's doing well. And maybe she needs to give Elaine a haircut because Elaine is going through something.
Yeah.
And I think the two of them should meet up.
Okay, cool.
And I think that's LJN.
Okay, yeah, I think that's correct.
Very creative people here with
Thank you so much.
Jobs.
I know it's financially dubious times.
It's tough. It's a tough time.
So thank
Everybody's
you.
crypto is going real bad.
Yeah.
We mainly get paid in crypto, so we're in a hole like 500 grand. Mm-hmm. So yes, thank you very much for doing that. It's again patreon.com/Asian-Not-Asian-Pod, and thank you very much. Let's do this. I think our guest has been chomping at the bit. Come on. We've been
multiple
touching,
times she's reacted.
We've been touching on bread girl. We've been touching on heat tech.
Mm-hmm.
We've been touching on cool haircuts.
Yes.
And so our guest this week is writer. Gosh, I hope that I got this right. Vanity Fair. Yes, I got it right. Writer of a book called Central Places, and just cool girl.
Yes.
Cool girl doing cool shit.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know this because she texts me sometimes like, hey, we're hanging out here at this cool bar. You want to come? And I'm like, yo, it is 9:30. Fuck no. Okay? Give it up right now for Delia Cai.
Woo! Hi, guys. It's so hard to try to like not talk to you. Like,
yeah.
You guys are doing anything. I'm just like, oh my God, I want to like talk to you guys about everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Also because we were talking before this.
Yes,
Yeah.
we were.
And then we're like, shh.
I know, it's like,
And
sorry.
you had to eat your hot dog all quiet.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Bread Girl?
Oh, I was just gonna say I actually met Sandy.
Oh shit!
Okay, here we go.
We went clubbing
Of
together.
course you
a few
did.
weeks ago.
Okay.
Of course
She's
you
so
did.
cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Did you
She's
like
very lovely.
approach her, or like how did this happen?
So she's
You
a
guys all go to,
friend.
yeah, you went to college together.
No, she's a friend of a friend.
Okay.
And our mutual friend was like, oh, you know, like my friend Sandy's coming tonight too. And I was sort of like, she looks really familiar. And my friend's just like, she's like the bread girl. And I was like, oh, okay. But she was very cool. Like she didn't talk about it, so I didn't ask about it. But I was just like, I know who you are.
Yeah, you're playing it cool.
Did you not know until she ate a piece of pizza or something? You're
Like she had to hold like some carbs really close to her face. And I was like, oh shit, where have I seen this? Yeah.
Where have I seen some of this before?
Yeah.
There's something glistening here.
Oh my god.
Well, so
Starstruck.
is she still making bread content?
I actually don't know because like I was too scared to ask.
Yeah.
But I have to say her skin looks really good. And it made me think like, is bread good for your skin?
Maybe.
You know?
Yeah. Maybe we should be doing
Probably.
like something before
Little-
bed.
yeah.
Like
Bread
a,
lips?
just like bread. Yeah.
A little bread mask.
A bread mask.
Which bread do you think is probably the best at doing that?
Oh, it has to be like that Wonder Bread, like totally loaded up with preservatives
white
kind
bread.
of thing. Yeah.
Like that milk bread we were just eating
Ooh.
with the around the hot, the
Yeah.
really soft one. I feel like
Mhm.
that'd be great. It
Yeah.
would be. It would also probably feel really good.
Yeah, you don't want like bran like
Yeah.
you
No,
know.
no, nothing
Yeah.
hard.
You know that Dave's bread shit. Fuck that shit.
yeah.
We're gonna get that person's iconic.
Yeah, icon.
Pioneer of
yeah.
Asian American content. This is our lane.
Yeah, absolutely.
What okay. And then what was the other thing? Oh, we were talking about heat tech.
Oh
What
yeah.
are your thoughts on heat tech?
Oh,
Are you wearing heat tech right now?
no, but I just laughed when you said that like I think heat tech is for Asian women because we
Yeah.
were just talking about like
100%.
you know, did your mom ever
Oh,
tell
yeah.
you not to like leave your belly
Yeah.
uncovered in public,
Mm.
you know? And it's like, yeah, it's all about we got to keep
Yeah.
retain the warmth.
Exactly,
you
or
know?
else you'll get sick.
I'm surprised there isn't a heat tech like Spanx heat tech, which is just for your midsection.
Oh my god.
I would love that.
like a heat tech corset.
Yeah, like a heat tech tube top.
We are about to get rich.
Oh yeah,
We
absolutely.
need startup money.
Asian
Muji.
moms everywhere will lose their shit.
I think my mom would definitely wear
Oh, my
that.
mom would definitely wear it.
You know,
Yeah.
it was slightly shaping, but mainly warming.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like also sweat wicking. So
Yeah.
that you're, so you're warm but not sweat.
Yes, yes.
Because I hate when I
Okay,
get wet in my
we're
folds.
gonna invent it. We're gonna invent it. You don't want to get wet in your folds.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay. You gotta keep your folds dry.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
I'm
have
just
to
saying.
keep your folds dry, but warm. I get it. On the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Delia. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
I
Sorry for all the texts.
No, I love the text. I love the text. Honestly, I do. It makes me feel alive
Oh, good.
because I'm full on dad mode.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have to wear this blazer everywhere I go.
Yeah, you have to.
And so sometimes, okay, like last night was my crazy night, and me and my wife, we split a bottle of wine and watched Netflix, and that was pretty fire. Honestly, that was
That
pretty.
sounds nice.
It
Yeah.
was pretty fire.
Yeah.
That sounds so nice.
But 11 o'clock is like, we're pushing it. We're pushing it.
Absolutely.
So sometimes when you text me and it's like a Wednesday, and you're like, Mike, we're at Alligator Bar. We're come hang out here. We're like doing shots, and it just like gives me a little twinge of when your friends like throw some stupid ideas at you at a random time. You're like, Mike, we're right outside your house right now. Put on a Speedo. We're gonna go streaking. I don't know, whatever. And you're like, okay, let's go. Like, and all of a sudden your Wednesday's crazy, and you didn't know. It reminds me of that.
Oh, I like a weeknight. I like an interesting weeknight because the expectations are so low that I think it happens more organically than when you're like, oh my god, it's a Saturday night, the best night of my life better happen. So I kind of like I like that kind of expectation of like, will my friends show up and like make me go streaking? Like, who's to say?
Wow, I love that. I agree. I also don't like crowds, so Wednesday night's even better. You should go out, Mike, on a Wednesday. Abandon your family and just do it.
If it was something where it was like, no, I would just no. It's not gonna happen. But I do appreciate it. Yeah. And actually, I would love I did text you. I was like, let me know what's going on because I wanted to like live vicariously, and so I wanted like I would pay for this. I would pay for instead of Substack.
Oh yeah.
But I would pay for a text stack where friends, like people pretend to be your friend and text you fun stuff that's happening through the night, like, oh my god, Delia's dancing on the bar. Oh my god, Steve making out with a bartender, and it could be fake. I don't care. But I'll just be like, oh my god, that's crazy, bro. And if it was really intricate, I would pay like a few dollars.
Yeah, like a live tweeting of a Wednesday night.
Yeah, like a group chat that's fake. Yeah, that I could pretend to be part of.
Oh my god, Mike, that's so sad.
Did
you hear yourself?
I don't know. I think that would be nice.
I think it's nice. Like, you want to know what's going on, Yeah. Like, you want to experience it from home.
Sure. You could just make friends, Mike. Actual friends that'll do it.
Well, I feel like because after a while, you have stopped texting me and to ask
me.
Oh,
yeah. It was just like, sorry. Because I also just thought, I was like, oh, well, like when you work in comedy, you're probably like out pretty late generally,
yes,
right?
Yeah, that's true.
But then I was like, also he has a baby.
Yeah.
Like I gotta be cognizant.
See, that's what I'm saying. And like, I understand, but I don't want people to stop. That's why I would like to be part. I would be a subscriber.
Right.
Okay. Can I be a subscriber to your group text?
Right.
I promise I will never jump in. I just want to be like BCC'd on everything.
Okay. I think we can do that. Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. You just got your way in.
Okay, add me. Do you guys have one? Do you guys go
a group chat?
Like a thing chat?
We have like our own chat. We text alone.
Okay, maybe I can have a sneak peek and potentially subscribe to that as well.
Okay, great. I mean, if I'm gonna make a cut of this, I'm in.
You you're a writer and you wrote Central Places, a great book. I read
Fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I texted
thank you guys
about it. Yeah.
And then you were also on our live show, our last live show, which was what was that? March or no? April? March.
It was February. It was like Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And it was our dating show, Real Asian Ships.
It was very fun.
It was fun.
That was like one of the best nights I've had in a while.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Oh. Like, it was very fun. And it was a Friday, so the bar was high.
Yeah.
Yes. we had a taco.
Yeah. Oh my god, I still think about that taco. It just like materialized out of nowhere. Like one of the hosts was just like, "Do you want?"
Yeah. Antrid and brought it.
Yeah, I was like, "Do you want a taco?" And I was like, I would love one. And it was like the best thing I've ever eaten.
I love that.
It made it into your Grub Street write-up.
Yeah, it did. It did. I know. And
that's right.
I wanted to like source like the provenance of that taco, but I was like, it's better as like a mystery. That it was just like, it appeared out of nowhere. I think it was carne asada.
Yeah.
Who's to say?
Right.
It's delicious.
Right. Yeah. If you try to find out where it was and then you go to that corner and they'll be like, there hasn't been a taco truck here in 20 years. But they say if you get drunk enough and look at the moon, Jose will appear. Yeah. He only comes when you need one.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I love that. I love that as an urban legend.
That's what I'm saying. I feel look at all the stuff I would have missed out on if I had gone home and been a good father.
Yeah.
It's true. Good thing you weren't.
I know. The other thing I think I read I read the Grub Street because you do mention the podcast. Thank you very much for doing that.
Oh yeah. A commenter said Mike is a great name for a podcast host, and I thought that was really funny.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We're in luck, buddy. But then you also talked about how I don't know exactly the timeline of how it works, but right around then, because you were talking about it on the show, we had this dating show. You were kind of like a guest judge / commentator, and then we're like talking about your love situation, and you're like, well, I'm sort of waiting to see what happens, but I guess something went down around then.
Oh yeah, like shortly after.
Yes.
Like I think that podcast was my last like happy night.
Oh my god.
Because I definitely got dumped the next day.
Oh shit. No.
Yeah. It was really funny because I feel like I was talking a big game at the, on the show and like with our like bachelorette Sandy, whose name is also Sandy, which is very funny now.
Yeah. Sandy.
But I remember feeling like just like real wise sage, where I was like, you just have to like. You just take it as it comes, and you just got to go with the flow, and you just got to trust your heart.
Open your heart
and
up.
I was so like secure and sure of like my own deal. And then the next day it was like, oh, you thought? So.
Whoa.
That's why I knew exactly like what week it was.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I know.
Is it cool to talk about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did it go down?
So we just like met up to go for a walk in the park, which should have been a tip off.
Oh really?
Because we do that? I don't really. But I remember like thinking about it where I was like, I've been dumped in a park before, and I've dumped someone in a park. So I was sort of like, this is a little suspect, but like, be cool. Yeah. It's fine. It was like a very cold day, which also made it kind of sus because it was like, we're not enjoying the weather.
It's not like a nice,
Yeah, it's February.
Yeah, it was February.
It's like really cold.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That should have been the day.
Yeah. Hey, meet me in the park. Don't bring a coat.
It's going to be short. Don't worry.
Yeah. Flip-flops. Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah. But so I don't know, we're just chatting and it just came to a head where it was just really funny because he was like we're on good terms now, so I don't feel weird about talking about this, but he was just like, how do you feel about things? And I was like, I feel really good. Like I'm really into this, and he's like, I don't know if we're compatible. And it was just like, super different pages.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So
how
it was
long were
like,
you guys kind of seeing each other?
Like not long. It was like a couple of months.
Okay.
It was just to that point where it was like, are we gearing up for the boyfriend-girlfriend situation?
Sure. Whoa.
Yeah. So that was a bummer, but we ended up just like, so usually when I've gone through a breakup, it's like scorched earth, like delete everything. Like you don't exist to me anymore. But we kind of went through this like sort of interesting, I don't want to call it like a decoupling, but we like kind of like had like a series of like, I don't know, like meetings, conversations to just like talk things through. It was like a multi-part breakup in some ways. But we were, we ended up just sort of talking it through, and we're like, maybe we should be friends. Maybe we should be better. We would be better as friends. We don't really know each other that well. It hasn't been that long. But there is something kind of like this, like just sort of like a human respect connection here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So as of now, like we're just sort of like, let's like take some time. Yeah. But like maybe we can be friends in the future, and that makes me really happy. Yeah. Because I think the really sad part of any breakup is when you're just like all this like care and like, like respect and just sort of like, just care that you have for a person just like vanishes, and that feels it just feels like a waste and feels really tragic.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it wasn't like super, super easy. Like, oh my God, this is going to be so chill.
Yeah.
But it felt really nice to kind of just work through some like feelings and thoughts and just sort of be like, hey, like there is a lot of care here. What if we just like sort of like transmute it to be this kind, instead of this kind? But I mean, like, who's to say? Like, talk to me in a few weeks, and maybe
you're being very confident right now.
I know.
Just be open-hearted.
Which I think
let it all in.
Yeah, that's my downfall. I think whenever I'm a little too.
He's gonna be like, oh, okay, meet me in this parking lot.
Yeah.
I just want to talk to you real quick. Yeah. Just don't even bring shoes. That's hardcore.
Yeah, don't bring your phone. Don't bring water.
I was gonna say, just don't bring anything. Yeah. It'll be real short.
Yeah, I've just forgotten. I mean, I don't know, Jenny. Do you have a? When's the last like breakup you went through? Do you remember?
Last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Wait.
Yeah.
Do I remember this?
I don't know if you know. I don't know what the timeline of anything is.
Okay.
But similarly was like, well, mine was even more dragged out than that.
Oh,
that
really?
seems nicer.
Oh.
But very similar.
How long?
Oh, like over a long time. Yeah. Of like back and forth of like,
really?
yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. A letter was exchanged.
Oh my God.
Oh, shit.
I wrote it.
Oh, no. Was it like tied up in like one of those knots?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I put it in the ocean. I threw it in the ocean in a bottle, and I was like, hope it gets to the other side of Brooklyn.
And then he's like, I found this thing floating in Gowanus.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
But I similarly we had that conversation, like maybe in a little bit we can be friends.
Whoa.
We're not friendly. Like it was not a full block, but we're not friends.
Yeah.
Do you
Because
think
I think you have to like,
be, or it's more time? You need way more time.
No, I don't need time anymore. I think it's just like at a certain point I was like, oh, I don't need that.
Yeah. It's like hard to tell.
It's hard to tell like when they're gone and then you're like living life separate, like, you know, not talking because you're like, I gotta get over my feelings. And then you kind of just like move on. And then you're like, why do I need that person as a friend? I have so many other cool people I could have as friends.
Yeah.
Mike pointing at himself.
Me pointing at me.
Yeah.
I
could go hang out with Mike and his chill baby.
Super chill.
Rather than this dude.
Although my son was like, I need to meet you in the park.
Yeah. Neo has been really pushing me away lately. He's always just kind of like, yeah, hey, let's do a park thing. We don't need to go to a restaurant or anything.
I'm not feeling good today.
Yeah.
It was a cool take a rain check on Friday. Okay.
This interaction will be free. It's not going to cost anyone.
Yeah, very free. But yeah, so that was gonna be my follow-up. It's like you can be friends, but I always wonder what the steps are because both sides need to want it.
Yeah.
And you both need to kind of pursue it actively as friendship. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like
does.
it's hard for just have one person in and out because it's very easy to let things dwindle. It's easy to let any relationship dwindle. So imagine like a person where you have, you're trying to keep space where it was intimate before, you know, like it's a little bit more difficult to navigate.
It's very hard. Also, I just love that Mitski's Nobody is playing right now as we're discussing this.
Perfect timing.
I told them to do it.
Yeah.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. I don't know if you guys have ever had something happen where you discover a new part of yourself that you didn't realize. I know that sounds weird. I don't know if you can relate, but you know, I'm getting, you know, hey, I'm a young guy, but I'm 40 something and I thought I knew everything about myself. But recently I found out that, you know, through talking on with different people on this very podcast, that I put a lot of pressure on myself. I kind of almost like the pressure of being overwhelmed. And to realize that really was something. It like changed how I thought about myself. And it's hard to learn about things like that, but therapy can help. Therapy is all about deepening your self-awareness and understanding, because sometimes we don't know what we want or why we react a certain way we do until we talk about it. I think therapy is a good way to kind of make explicit all of those, you know, different automatic actions that are happening in our brains. So if you've thought about therapy, I think it could be really good. I've done therapy before. I use what I've learned in therapy all the time, just to understand a little bit more about myself, learn a little bit more about why I do certain things. It's tough. And it can be hard, but I think therapy is really worth it. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. All you got to do is just fill out a brief questionnaire and get matched with a licensed therapist. You get matched pretty quickly. Then you can switch therapists if things aren't working out. You can always switch at any time for no additional charge. Discover your potential with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Asian today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Asian. I'm just curious. I haven't had to go through a breakup in.
Mike loves talking about relationships for this
really
reason.
It's like a hypothetical.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, what is that like?
He's always like, "What's going on over there?" Yeah.
Sometimes I think I also like the last relationships I went through, you know, was like I was in my mid-20s.
Yeah.
I feel like those breakups are like, you know, someone's pants are being thrown out the window. You know what I'm saying? Where
Yeah.
it's like really
bad.
crazy.
Yeah.
And looking back, I'm like, well, I did care for this person, and but maybe it's one of those things where maybe it could have worked out,
Right.
Like in retrospect, but I do know that I was not a mature person. I don't think anybody was.
Sure.
So now it's like, and then on top of like living in a big city where it's hard to meet with people anyway. So it's like, even if I feel like there's even something where maybe we should just be friends because we don't have too many other people in the city to be friends with.
Yeah.
So we have to salvage some of this.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
It's like a sunk cost.
Yeah.
You're just
It
like,
is
I've
sunk
invested
cost.
so much.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
It's
know.
absolutely sunk. Yeah.
Yeah.
But to your point, Jenny, I think it's like crucial to recognize that like my point of view is sort of like, oh, being my friend is not like a downgrade. Like that is its own responsibility. Right. That is not like, oh, you're just gonna casually drive in and drive out of my life. Like, no, like I take my friendships very seriously. So that is in itself also a commitment. It's not just like this like secret password or like just this like just like this like kind of throwaway term of just like, oh yeah, like we'll be friends, you can act however you want, and it's like, no, like, my friends don't treat me this way.
Yes.
So, so I don't know, that's what I'm trying out.
Yeah.
But I do sort of, I feel like I've thought about in kind of like how you talked about where it's like after a while you sort of realize like, do you really want to be friends, or was that something you just both said because that idea was nice and kind of like got you through?
Yes.
And if that's the case, I think that's fine too. It like serves a purpose.
Totally.
Makes things less sad.
Yeah. I think I've had that with almost every bigger breakup with in my life.
Yeah. I always also wonder sometimes if this is a white people idea that kind of like has trickled into our minds, because my white people friends, they're like friends with their exes. I mean, they're like, oh, my ex
like
is getting,
actual like
she's getting married, and I'm like the best man, and I'm like, what the fuck?
That's weird.
No, maybe not best man, but
they're gonna go to the wedding, or like I was invited.
They're really integrated into each other's lives still. And on the one hand, I'm like, good for you, and it does seem, from what I've observed, like, oh, okay, they do seem to be doing okay. But sometimes they're like, no, this is a horrible idea.
Yeah.
And I don't know why you guys are like trying to do this, make this happen, because it'll like prove that you're like a bigger person. But fuck that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, some people, they just need to die in your life.
Yeah, it's like.
But I don't know. I'm not saying that in a mean way.
You just said it so matter of factly. Some people just have to die in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I think really as I've gotten older, I've just learned how to make relationships. I don't mean like romantic relationships. I mean like just build a relationship with like people that are meaningful. And so at a certain point, I'm like, I don't need to sustain. I think it's a nice idea, but I'm like starting to get to the point where like, oh, I could like find really cool people, especially in the city.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, maybe we could be friends, but you're gonna have to put in the work too.
It's like that's another audition process. In a way. It's like that's a different role.
Yeah, you're gonna
also
have to
very
go through.
demanding.
It's different paperwork.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to do all of it.
Yeah.
Some of the course credits crap.
Yeah.
They go over.
Some go over, but a lot doesn't.
But you're gonna have to take American Studies again. Yeah. And the writing requirement has not been fulfilled.
Yeah. Yep.
Whoa.
I love thinking about it that way.
It really is though. Yeah. I'm like that too. I'm like, I expect more from my friends than the person I'm like casually dating or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's way harder.
Yeah.
I think that's way harder. We kind of like in the outline. I realized I was supposed to ask you this after, but it's fine. But now we're like talking.
Now we're in it.
Now we're in it.
Yeah.
Well, let's hold on here. Do we want to? We can talk about dating, continue talking about it, or we can do our what kind of Asian were you this week and kind of run through that.
I think we should just go along this line of dating because I think it ties for Delia. What kind of Asian were you this week? But I also just want to get an update on her dating life.
Oh, okay. I thought you were looking at me, and I thought you were going to ask me how my dating life is going.
No,
bad. I'm married. It's over. Well, hold on. I want to ask you first, Jenny.
Yeah.
Dating corner. My
dating corner?
Yeah.
Well, I've been gone. I was sick for like 2 weeks, and then I've been gone for 2 weeks, so I really have nothing going on. But I do have, as we call, buns in the oven. Of people.
It sounded like you're pregnant.
Yeah,
I'm
pregnant with 4. No, with people that I have, like, I'm going to meet.
Oh.
That I've been nurturing via text.
You're drafting the roster.
Yes, I'm drafting the roster right now.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
because I'm like back for a bit. So I'm like, well, now's the time.
Is that how you have to do it? You have to draft a roster?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, this is, and now point guard, blah, blah, blah. And then, and then that's not working out. Okay.
Yeah.
Wing guard. I don't know. I don't know
guard.
basketball.
Yeah. I'm always like, I'm missing a defensive player.
Well, is it where the roster is different people fulfill different roles, or is it like in order? Is it like a draft order?
No. Well, for me, I'm just like, I have the energy. So I just got back on the apps. So then I'm like, have the energy to like start the conversation right now because I still am I'm in the optimistic phase.
Yeah.
And so you start like talking, and so like you like narrow it down to like 4 or 5 people or whatever that you're like, this isn't horrible.
Yeah.
And so then from there you like go on dates, and you probably shrink that down, and then you like decide if like how it goes, if you want to like keep that going or like add people. Not add people. I don't like date a lot or whatever, but it is just like the process of like, for me, not burning out is like doing this.
Who is...
So I've like paused on my apps right now because I'm like, I can't keep being on
your
it.
roster is getting...
Yeah, I'm like tired already. I haven't met a single person. I'm tired. Like in person. So that's kind of where I am in the phase. Also, you know, I'm also just like coming back. So like my social, not to brag, but my social calendar is like, I'm like trying to fill it out with like life stuff too. Like just hanging out with friends and going out, and I'm doing like a ton of shows this month, so
that's awesome.
Just trying to socialize.
Okay,
so that's where I'm at. I have no concrete updates.
Okay, well, I think that I disagree. I think now we have a full roster, dance card, whatever our analogy is. And that seems good. I am trying to think about what the good sports analogy would be. Perhaps your Dungeons and Dragons party is full. No, that's not it.
How's that sports? I guess Dungeons and Dragons is sports.
It is? Okay, don't come at me.
Yeah, don't come at us.
But it does sound like you've selected some things, and we're waiting to see what happens.
Selection just means that they are persistent enough.
You're scouting.
I am scouting.
I'm
scouting, but I'm like putting myself in a position to be scouted. Yeah, like I'm not scouting. I'm just kind of like, scout me. And then whoever like scouts me, I'm like, okay. That's literally it. If you're persistent enough, I'm like, okay. It's all it takes.
This is good. No, I want to have a whiteboard where I have like Brendan and Joey. I don't know who the fuck these people are. But like, you know, like who's up on the roster.
Right.
We can monetize this.
Oh my God.
We can make this happen.
You're always just trying to monetize me, Mike.
I need to make money.
I know, seriously.
Okay? This Spanx idea is, it's only my...
It's going to need a lot of capital.
I need cash.
Yeah. Cash fast.
Okay. So that's good.
Yeah.
It's a good update. We're going to see how this roster pans out.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good. I think Rodriguez has a great arm, and I think we're going to...
The offensive line is strong this year. We've jumped so many sports.
There's so many sports.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite right now?
Okay, yeah, there is one that has been more fun to, but I have not met any of these people, so it's literally just text conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he is younger.
What is...
How young?
Yeah, how
2 years younger.
Oh,
or 2 or 3 years younger.
That's okay. How am I supposed to laugh for?
What?
We were just talking.
I wasn't sure if I should bring it up, but
well, we were just talking earlier where I was like, oh yeah, I've been going on some dates. You know, there's like one person I've gone on a couple of dates with, and I was like, Jenny, he's young, he's 27, and like not like about to turn 28, like he just turned 27, and I just turned 30, and so to me, like 3 years feels like
I know that's how I
feel.
feel.
A lot. Yeah.
My sister's 3 years younger. That's how I always frame it. So it's like my sister. I'm like, oh, that's my sister's age. So they could have graduated with my sister. That's what clicks in my mind.
Yeah.
So then like a year older is fine. Does that make sense? Like 2 years older, I'm like, well, that's older than my sister.
Yeah.
So that's still like okay. But then when it reaches my sister's age, I'm like, oh, that's kind of like weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 27 is right at the edge.
I agree.
Where you become a regular person and not a young person.
I agree. 27 is the cutoff.
You know what it is? It's the age where you stop going, can't wait for my birthday.
Wait, Mike, I still am like, can't wait for my birthday party.
I guess you're right. It's like, I remember around 26 where I was like, oh, man, these are going to keep coming.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
These are going to keep coming.
Yeah.
You know, like
you just like settle into adulthood.
And of course you still have fun, but it's like, oh shit, I'm going to be 30 in a couple of years. Oh,
yeah.
shit, I'm going to be, 35.
I started getting hangovers at 26.
Oh, you didn't
So
have
that's how I
hangover
kind
before
of knew
that?
it was happening.
Okay.
So I would say 27's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got So young guy. He's a little on the younger side. Little on the younger
Yeah.
side. But you like him. What is it that you like about him?
He was just funny on text.
Okay.
That's it. That's all it takes.
Okay. No,
That's
that's
fine.
Just
Oh,
like
that's very
skill. That's a
funny
very big
text banter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a comedian though.
Not a comedian.
Okay.
I mean, I generally say no to comedians.
Yeah. No, I think you should.
And if you're a comedian and you say you're a comedian on an app, I'm like really out.
yeah.
Yeah. If you're a hidden comedian,
right.
you know, like you're ashamed of it, like you should be.
Yes, you should
then
be.
I'm okay. Like I don't have
nobody
anywhere.
with the photo on stage.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Though I did match with someone who knew who I was.
Oh shit.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
A fan.
Yeah. And I don't know how I feel about it. I actually kind of like it.
Oh,
The Leo in me
hey.
likes it.
Okay.
Wait,
Ooh.
Jenny, I feel like in your shoes, like the most powerful thing you could probably say to a guy is like, you're pretty funny. You could be a comedian. Like
Oh,
that would
yeah.
just change their like entire
That's
life
true.
probably.
Yeah.
Like
That
every
would.
guy.
I don't think I've ever said that to anybody.
I think every
'Cause
guy
there-
would
no
love
one's
to
funny.
be told that.
Yeah.
Either that or like
Yes.
you could be a DJ.
Yeah.
Like if you want to make a straight man's life.
It's so true.
You have great taste in
I know,
music.
but that's literally Delia. I've mostly dated comedians and DJs.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
And you know what? You've never complimented any of them.
I know.
Yeah.
I've never thought anyone was that great. I was like, all right.
I love that.
Yeah.
The whole time he's just like, why won't you say I'm a good DJ?
Yeah. And I'm just
And
like,
withholding.
and I'm like, maybe you should like focus on getting like a job that's like sustaining you
know
in
what?
your life. Like,
you're really good at accounting.
yeah,
actually.
like, yeah.
It's cold-blooded.
You're in your mid 30s. Like, maybe it's time to do something else.
Maybe
Yeah.
You should think about maybe putting away these silly dreams of
Yeah.
yours. Just crushing him. Wow. Okay. This is good. We've got a funny texter. We have a potential
fan.
We're filling out the roster right now. We're figuring it out. I love this. Ooh.
Yeah. Mike is having so much fun.
I'm loving this. Okay. I need to be in this text chain.
I know.
So okay, that's good. How about now we can do your updates. So what's going on with you, Delia?
I'm on Hinge. I'm going on some dates. Because I was sort of like,
I feel like you're a step ahead of me. You know what I mean? Like you're like in the process.
yeah. Well, we were saying earlier, I was like, I think it's fun, but also, you know, it comes with like its own minuses.
Yeah.
And so in the end, does it even out to like the general level of happiness that I would have if I were just home reading? Like maybe. I was like, I think right now for the spring, for the summer, I kind of just want to find out in a way. Because I'm usually like one person, you know, at a time, and get really hung up and just like have that really define like a certain period of my life. And so
Yeah.
I think that for like this spring, I was like, I think I need to keep the momentum going.
Yeah.
And just sort of like gaslight myself into being like, dating is fun and
Yeah.
I'm an open person, you know, instead of like going back in like the hidey hole of like, you know, I don't want to interact with anyone until they're the one, you know?
Yeah, totally. So, okay. So you only date, do you like, how many people can you handle dating at once?
I think 2, honestly.
Yeah.
I've never been able to swing more than 2, and usually I get
I know
really
what you mean.
stressed.
Same.
And pick a favorite.
I
and
love talking
it's
like I
done.
can handle more, but
Yeah,
I can't.
I know.
So I think that sounds really hard.
Yeah. But you know what? The other thing I'm trying to do is like, I've also just been like trying to make more guy friends. And I think that kind of helps pad out this like, I don't know, this like, it just like pads out kind of like the male energy
Yeah.
in my life that sometimes I think like half of dating is just, it's just like nice to hang out with a dude sometimes.
Wait, what?
Um,
What?
Yeah.
For me,
right?
it's having
You
a
are
large
trying to
man hold
cultivate
me.
male friends for that
Yeah.
reason?
Like,
Really?
like I was like trying to make a friend at work, who's this guy who like works at a different publication, but I was like, I really could use some like work friends. Like, do you want to get lunch? And he was like, yeah, sure. You know, we like,
Is
talked
single
about
dude?
work. No. So I think this is sort of crucial where it's like, I kind of like have found that hanging out as friends with someone who has like a partner or like has a girlfriend or whatever, the pressure is off in a way because you're just like, this is automatically
Yeah.
like that door is so closed that I don't feel like I'm auditioning
Well,
in
yeah.
any way,
Okay.
you know?
Yes.
Okay, but this is what I learned in therapy for myself is that I tend to become friends with gay men and straight men who with partners because then I can go into it being fully like oh, whatever,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
myself, like fully myself with no expectations of like
Yeah.
having to perform. And so that's why I had a history of dating people who were already like after we become friends and then they break up and then I date them.
But I think that's so great though.
What? Black Widow.
No,
Wait,
no, not
so you're like
Black Widow.
you're the girl Olivia Rodrigo is singing
Yeah,
about,
yeah.
and she's
No,
like,
no,
I
no.
knew something was going on.
No, it's just that I
Get
have.
out the edges. You know,
No.
the wounded male.
I am not
The wounded
trying to
male.
break up anyone. It's that it's like I have a friendship with people before I date them. Is what I do.
No, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
but
awesome.
but that's how
the way
it
to do
goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a long thing where I'm like, I can't date anybody unless I become friends with them first, and that process takes 3 years. And my therapist is like, that is like not it. Like it's not real. You
Yeah.
made that up, and I'm like, what? Because I'm
You're
talking
like-
about why dating's so hard.
You're like, you date like you're like a winery, and you're like, this process must begin many
Yeah.
years
You
in
gotta-
advance.
You got to keep the guy in the barrel for like
Yeah,
3 years,
exactly.
occasionally turning him
So-
towards the south sun.
So
or
I'm
whatever.
really working on just like being friends with like men regardless.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, this is where I could come in and help y'all. I'm a guy and I'm a
What?
friend.
Just kidding. I didn't know, Mike. Just kidding. But yeah.
That's so interesting. Although, hold on here. Can I say that maybe that is the way to do it as far as the thinking? Because maybe you should try to be friends first so that later on you can, you know what I'm saying? You like build that foundation.
Yeah, totally.
Because like my wife and I, we were friends for like a long time. I was in the friend zone and it was sweet. And, but I mean, it's that like base of knowing each other that like you know it's the ballast in the ship, right?
Yeah.
That like keeps us like, you know, because we've known each other for so long.
Yeah.
Whereas I think when you are with someone and you know the sparks are flying and like you kind of get into this other romantic thing, you don't have the other shit where you're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, we like would spend afternoons just being bored with each other.
Yeah,
you
totally.
know?
I
And
agree
then-
with that.
Yeah, I don't know, but
I
like,
think I like the friendship route because I like I get really self-conscious in dating situations where
Oh.
I'm like, am I am I
Yeah,
doing
it's so high
femininity
pressure.
or whatever? Whereas like with other people, I'm like, well, that energy. I'm like, oh.
right. I've seen that.
Yeah.
I call that cowboy hat Jenny.
Yeah.
energy.
Just like
I enjoy it.
yeah, just like screaming and being stupid.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to get over that hump of like not immediately going to like, oh, like self-consciousness and just being comfortable with myself regardless. Yeah.
I think I increasingly think that's like the best way to date because it is just like it just feels like a totally different like way of being of like if you're just like hanging out with someone who you're like we could be friends and
Yeah.
that could that there's many definitions under that. Like I think I actually someone told me, I don't know if this is true, I should probably check it, but someone told me like in Arabic there are 12 words for friendship or like friend. And so it's like from there you could sort of make the case like, there are at least 12 different kinds of friends, at least recognized in this language. And I really love that versus like, I think we have this idea in romantic love that like there can be one, and if you're not even a little bit, if you sort of like don't quite fit that, then like it's just stressful for everyone.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
Whereas friendship is it's like a big party. And it's like, do you just want to be part of this party? Like,
Yeah.
sure, I like that.
Okay.
But
yeah.
Mike, are you of the Harry meets Sally point of view where it's like men
that
and women
movie.
can't actually like be good friends without wanting to like bone at some point?
Yeah.
Bone. You're such a middle schooler. I think I could see why people would think that. I would say that's like that's like a like if you put a gun to my head and like what's the rule of thumb, I
Yeah.
would say yes. That is like sure.
Yeah.
But and this kind of goes back to like when you turn a certain age. I think as you get older, things become less black and white where it's like it has to be this or it has to be this. You know?
Yeah.
And I think for me, it's cool for me to the thing with me with being friends with a woman is just it's more like political. I have to be like, okay, I have to have sign off from my wife that this is cool because, and maybe that's old school thinking of me, but I'm like, I want everything to look like it's on the up and up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think
It's
we
above
can
board.
be friends
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think you can have like very deep female friendships. But you got to like have all of the underpinnings, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm really good friends, for example, with all of Gina's friends.
Yeah.
Like that's a completely safe, like
Yeah.
I'll hang
Yeah.
out and I'll like get drunk with them, like
Yeah.
one-on-one. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is great. Because then we'll like FaceTime Gina and be like, hey, look, hey, we're getting
Yeah.
drunk.
Yeah.
And it's completely cool because we have
Yeah.
all the underpinnings where
Yeah.
everything's been signed off and checked off. I know that sounds like, oh, you should have a trust, but like this is the trust. You have to
Yeah.
do the things.
Yeah.
So that's me.
So. That
But
makes
then,
sense.
but
yeah.
before before age 27, when you're looking forward to your life being
Yeah.
all the time,
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I think it you're so like in the zone of like everyone I meet is potentially someone
Yeah.
I could date.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially if they're in like in the funnel,
Yeah.
so to speak.
And I think too, like before that age, you're sort of not totally sure what you're looking for. So anyone could kind of be like a potential
Oh,
Yeah, it's
suitor
true.
or suitress. So you're sort of like maybe, you
Yeah.
know. Whereas I think once you sort of narrow it down, you're like, oh, we're not gonna date.
Yeah.
We could be really good friends.
Yeah.
You know, I think that discernment comes.
I think that's such
later.
a good point. I think it's one of those ironies is that like after I'm married and I know have been married for a while, now I really know what I'm looking for, and now it's too late. So like you know, I'm there.
You're
know?
there.
And unfortunately, what I'm looking for is what Gina
Yeah.
is. But
Yeah.
when I was in my early 20s, I thought I wanted a girl who was like X, Y, and Z, and a lot of it was like physical stuff.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh yeah, I want her to be like this and that. And when you're younger, I feel you think you value certain things and you actually
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
Later on, and now I feel like I'm very sure of like, oh God, if I was, I don't want to think about having to date ever again, but like I would know for sure right away. And there's probably only like 2 people in the whole city where I'm like, okay, this is probably going to work. You know, you just like get to it faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. I could be totally fucking wrong.
Yeah.
I think
Please,
that's true.
Yeah. I don't know. I just want to do that. 'Cause
Totally.
I got not funny.
This really became a relationship episode.
That's what I like.
I
I
know.
love this
You
stuff.
love it.
Yeah. Well, you don't like talking about it? I think it's so interesting. Maybe because
No,
you
I
guys
think
think
it's
about it all the
interesting.
time.
Yeah, I do think that I
The
think about
stakes
it
are
more
higher.
than you. Yeah, oh,
Yes.
for sure the stakes are
You're
higher.
right, you're right. I'm just on the side.
Yeah,
eating
you're
popcorn.
like, yay!
Yay! Well, anyways, I'm going back to my loving family.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go
This
hang out with my
HBO
son.
thriller is wild.
Yeah.
Okay, so Delia, yeah, you brought up this other thing you wanted to talk about. Partially, I think, related to, you know, you finished your book, which was great. Should we talk about your book? It was great. It was like such
Yeah,
a-
your book is awesome.
Oh,
It's
Thank
like
you.
a
I loved
fun-
it.
It's like it started off, not even started off, but it was like I read the interviews that you did about the book and writing it, and people were like, "Oh, it's like a rom-com," and even for me, I was like, "Oh, maybe it's going to be like a rom-com," but really, it is not.
Yeah.
It like takes, you know, not, you know, it surprised me
Mm-hmm.
in a
Oh,
good way,
good,
and it was
good.
like cool, and you know, you have rom-com energy. I would tell you that.
Oh, thank you.
You know, you're like the
Highest praise.
seriously, you're like, Delia has got blonde hair and lives in a cool neighborhood in Brooklyn. And she ran into the clear glass door. How silly of her.
She's so quirky.
That really-
She's so quirky.
That is very true.
But
Delia
love
ran
that.
into the door of our booth.
It was the booth on the way in, but I was like, that is such a Delia thing. I loved it. It was great. But you got the book out, and then you are on social media, and you were sort of talking about, I guess, I don't know, how would you say it?
So I feel like, you know, this book has been the culmination of like about like 3 years of work, but also it just sort of felt like putting out a thesis on like my early adulthood, you know, and now it's like done, and it feels like the closing of this chapter, if not like sort of like the first, like, you know, the closing of a book even. And so I think in this kind of like sort of like recoil period, I've been thinking a lot about like, okay, you know, I've kind of always been the kind of person who has like a very clear like North Star in terms of like, this is what I want, the next job, the next you know, apartment. I want to put this book out, I want to write this book. And so kind of for the first time in my life, I don't have like a North Star at the moment in terms of like kind of that professional or like creative ambition. And so I've been having a little bit of an identity crisis, and I've been spending so much time, like way more time than usual, on Instagram, and just sort of getting really like carried away / like going down these rabbit holes of like finding accounts of people who are like friends of friends or just like, you know, micro celebrities of like the New York type. And just sort of getting really like, you know, I'll watch every story and I'll just really build an idea of what they're like in my head and just sort of feel, and I feel like there are all these like kind of maybe like latent or repressed feelings of like envy and jealousy are coming up because, you know, I just kind of like I didn't really have like the time to kind of care about Instagram in that way before. And now that I kind of have all this free time, I'm just like, look at her life. She's so, you know, or like, look at his life. Like, oh my God, that's so, you know, that's so unattainable or whatever, or it's so different. And so it feels in some ways, I almost feel like a bit like a teenager. I don't know how real teenagers handle this, but I think it's like this, I'm on this roller coaster where I'm trying to, so I've been trying to like approach it from this is an interesting sensation point of view. And so I've been really enjoying talking to people where I'm just like, you know, do you get this way? Do you have kind of weird little like Instagram fixations?
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you think other people perceive you differently than like how you are based on how you are on Instagram in a way? Because it's sort of funny because like, you know, with the book coming out, a lot of friends or even like people who I'm not super close with, they're like, you know, you must be so happy. You're killing it. Your life looks amazing. And I'm sort of like, oh, yeah, I guess so. But like, if only you knew, every day I wake up and, you know, I feel all of these like kind of maybe like negative feelings or I don't feel like anything is really different. And so that's always like really like a shock to me. And I really enjoyed kind of talking to people, especially people who I'm sort of like, I think, you know, you look like you're having the best time. And most times they're like, oh no, you know, and
like
so I was like talking to a person who I work with who just like has like their work life is very glamorous, like at red carpet events, like hanging out with celebrities, like all that kind of thing. And we were just chatting and, you know, I was kind of just like, so what's it like? What's your life really like? And it sounded like he was working 3 jobs. It sounded like his whole social life was his professional life. Yeah. And so it really helped kind of like de-glamorize it for me. And so it's really funny because now, you know, I'll look at his stories and it's like, oh, like live from this red carpet, like wearing these designer clothes, like he looks so happy and whatever. But now I sort of know in my head, like, oh, you know the fuller story now. And so you're not just sort of like, this guy is like having the best time. And like, what's wrong with me? So, just all these like poisonous feelings that are coming up. But I felt like the best way of going about it is just having these like really like kind of like, I don't know, like it's like vulnerable conversations where I'm just like, you look like this. Does it feel like that? And everyone is like, no. You know?
Yeah.
So
have you met anyone where it does align, where you're like, you look like this and it is like that?
I think I've met some people and I haven't quite broached that yet, but like I sort of can't tell. But I think it's interesting because I think the people maybe who I've met who I think like, oh, they are having a good time. Part of it comes from this mystery where I'm just like, you don't post that much. And so I wonder if that also has to do with it, where it's like, if you're not even online that much, but you sort of leave it, it's like you leave just enough clues to create this like mystique or this image for someone crazy like me to pick up.
To screenshot and be like, okay, let's zoom in on the corner there.
Yeah, like look at this, you know, look at the brand of this, whatever,
What's
you know.
going on there?
Yeah, and they're probably like, oh, it was just a cool skateboarding video. No, you know, it's not a big deal. And I'm sort of like,
you already made a mistake. Weird if you're hanging out with skateboarders, bro. Oh shit, Delia.
Mistake number 1.
Wow. Oh man, this whole time I thought you were different. No. You still fell into the New York City skateboard hot guy. Fuck, they're hot. Continue. No wonder you're hanging out with a 26-year-old. God damn it.
I was talking to this guy friend and he was like, we were sort of talking about this phenomenon in a way where he's like, what's the equivalent for like a girl that for me was like dating a model? And I was like, oh yeah, it's like dating a skateboarder, dating a DJ.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh. And I was like, you dated a model? And he's like, yeah. But, and this was sort of the same conversation. He's like, yeah, but like, dude, you know, talk about incompatible lifestyles, right? Yeah. It's like, you think it's awesome. It's not awesome. So that also, like, again, kind of helped like de-glamorize some things for me where I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. You know.
Wow.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a real topic. I mean, I haven't been on Instagram that much this year, and it's been great.
Your mind must be so clear.
It's been great.
You're probably
Like
thinking about like
the last 2 weeks,
religion, math.
I've been really. Once you stop being on it,
Yeah.
it's very easy to not be on it.
Yeah.
I liked something this morning that came out 3 days ago. I didn't know.
That's fine.
Like but the algorithm also doesn't do it linearly, so I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever. I don't
the
know.
algorithms all fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think most of the time it's definitely not real.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
think if you're really happy, you're not on it.
Yeah. Oh,
You're too busy
100%.
being happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're too busy whatever, backpacking through Patagonia.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
and whatever, volunteering at a monastery.
Yeah.
To be like, oh yeah, I should post this on Instagram.
Right.
You don't even have cell phone connection. you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, continue.
Truly.
But yeah, I do understand also the feeling that you actually, when you have the downtime, is when you're on it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes, when you're
that
most
gives you
vulnerable to
yeah.
sort of what's out there. you know?
Exactly.
I find that I go on Instagram almost like when something triggers me, like I get like a stressful email or something, and I'm like, oh, it's like my going out and having a cigarette break, and I can
Yeah.
tell that I'm reaching for my phone. Like I'll stop myself sometimes. I'll realize I'm doing it. I remember the other day I was actually out. I was having a great time. I was I don't know, out with my son, of course, pushing a stroller, and it was something happened where I saw a cherry blossom, and I remember I had my hand on my phone the whole time. You guys ever walk with your hand on your phone?
Mm-hmm.
I do it all the time,
sometimes, yeah.
and I took my hand out of my pocket, and I realized, I didn't there was some lizard brain in me. I was I don't need this right now.
Yeah. Oh,
It
that's
was
good.
so weird, but it was the contrast was as soon as I feel anxious, I put my hand back on my phone.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's fucked. Anyways,
I know what you mean. And when I have time is when I'm on it. And that's usually when I start comparing my life naturally by looking at other people's life. And then I feel bad that I have the time to be on it.
oh,
I'm like, I should be busy posting.
Get
Because
back
my
to the
life
grind,
is
baby.
so
Yeah,
good
yeah.
that I gotta post how good my life is.
Yes.
But here I am sitting in my apartment scrolling on Instagram instead.
Yes.
It makes me feel so bad. Social media makes me feel. That's why I'm mostly on TikTok now, which also makes me feel bad. In a different flavor,
In a different
flavor
way.
of bad. Yeah.
I like the comparison of going on Instagram to a cigarette break because it's a little poison just
Yeah.
to make myself feel better.
Yeah,
in a way.
absolutely.
Or
Yeah.
it's not even feel better. It's just feel
Out of the present moment.
yes.
Yeah.
And because it's not I feel it is weird because it's you feel bad, so then you do this thing that really makes you feel worse.
Right.
And you would think that your Pavlovian self would stop you from doing that.
Yeah.
But instead, it's I don't know. It's there's rolling a pair of some dice. It's there's a 5 in 6 chance it's gonna make you feel bad. There's a 1 in 6 chance where something there's a funny cat video or something.
Yeah.
You're oh, that was okay.
Or it makes you feel like you have connection. You're connecting
Right,
with your
exactly.
friends. You're catching
Right.
up on
Yeah.
your friends.
Because that does happen. Sometimes someone DMs me or whatever.
Yeah.
We message each
Yeah.
other and I saw this funny thing. It was funny, and I was oh, okay, cool, ha ha.
Right.
And that was nice. But really, I should have just gotten that.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm trying to subscribe to the text group chat. Going back to it, don't think I forgot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I think it's our desire to be connected
Wow.
that drives it.
Yo.
But it's not real
It's not real.
at all.
Someone also told me, I think this also really amped up once I started living by myself. Because someone told me, they're when you live by yourself, you will, you can't imagine how much time you
Flex.
spend on your phone because you're just where, everyone is in my phone.
Yeah.
It's not my roommate's not here to just chat with. I gotta go find it.
Totally.
And they're all on Instagram right now.
Yeah. Well, let me just say, Delia, I think your Instagram is great.
Oh my God. Thank you, Jenny.
I really
Yeah,
like it.
you really
Also,
emanate
to just
cool
stop-
girl vibes.
Again, I don't know what your life is like. Maybe it's a living hell. I don't know. But again, you have you know what I'm saying? You're a writer. You're cool. Cool comedians.
Yeah,
Yes,
look
I
at
do.
us.
Yeah, we hang out
Look at
sometimes.
us.
Maybe text me, but
Maybe text me.
I don't know. By all, and you're this part of the book is true. You are from the Midwest,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
there's no way that someone, if I just were to describe you to someone who knew you, like, it's amazing. It sounds awesome. It sounds
thank
fake.
you.
It
Yeah.
sounds legit fake.
But
You know?
it's so wild that like
You
the
date
perception.
skateboarders. How cool is that? I don't know.
But it's why like the perception can be
Yeah.
so warped.
Totally,
right?
Yeah.
totally.
It's like I'm sort of astonished by that. Even though
Yeah.
it sounds really naive to be like, oh,
No, yeah.
it's not wild. But
Yeah.
I'm really fascinated by that right
Yeah.
now.
I mean, it's almost everyone is, when you get to know them, is not what their social media
Yeah.
depicts at all.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm like really trying to like build friendships and not advertise on social media. That's like what I've been trying to do. Because I'm like, I'm not trying to do it for social points. I'm doing it because I'm
Yeah.
enjoying this
Yeah.
friendship. Yeah.
Remind me later also, I have to post this on our stories. So that would be good. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
And they'll be like, wow, Jenny and Mike are just killing it.
Yeah.
You know? They're living it.
Yeah,
Living the
exactly.
dream.
Yeah. Look at them podcasting on Saturday morning.
Little do
Chugging
they
their
know
coffee.
we're in a box.
Yeah, we're in a
mall.
box. Yeah.
With no light.
With where our light died.
The
and
light died.
A bunch of European tourists keep
Took
walking
pictures
by,
of us.
taking pictures
Yeah.
of us like animals.
It's just
They're like, this is the American podcast.
Yeah.
it's American podcast
I
time.
heard about this cultural tradition.
This is their primary cultural
Yeah.
export. It's this and Transformers movies.
Yeah, totally.
Wow. Okay. Well, now we're quiet.
And where do we go from here?
I don't know. There is no answer. I don't.
There's
feel,
no answer.
I feel like you know, I don't want to step into this too much, but some, you know, the whole thing of like, oh, they're gonna ban TikTok. I know there's like a lot of political shit about it, but just putting that aside, sometimes I'm like, would that be a bad thing for us to be? I feel they didn't go far enough. They should ban any
Ban all of it.
Yeah,
ban
just ban all of it.
screens, all
Ban all
screens,
of it.
Yeah.
no screens. You know?
I mean, like, I would take an Instagram, Facebook ban over a TikTok ban.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Please.
Because on TikTok, I'm not like, oh, I wish I had
Yeah.
was this 23-year-old girl
That's why
dancing.
it's just
content,
like,
right?
yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
content.
TikTok
TV.
doesn't make me
Yeah.
feel bad in the same flavor of way, a comparison way.
Yeah.
TikTok makes me feel bad in that, like, once you look at one news story, it gets shoved down your throat for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that doesn't feel good.
I see.
But
it's not like a social, like, I know this
yeah,
person is
the
making me.
Instagram bad is like the comparison bad. Like, my life is not as good as their life.
Like the
bad.
people, like I know just enough to where it's like this feels like we're equals, but you know.
Yeah.
Whereas TikTok, it's almost like looking at a magazine. You're just like, well, you know, Giselle is Giselle.
Yeah.
We're not. I'm not
Yeah,
jealous here.
exactly. Yeah.
I wonder how people who know Giselle feel.
I'm like looking at her life.
Yeah.
They're like, damn, Giselle's really. I know she's not happy though. You know.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they
Yeah.
are. Like, she's
Really?
going through a divorce. You know, she's like
Oh.
going through a divorce
That
to
woman-
Tom Brady.
That woman hasn't eaten sugar or like white flour in like 20 years. She's
exactly.
not happy.
There's just no way. And she was married to Tom Brady.
Yeah.
It can't be good.
So maybe it's a good thing she's going through the divorce.
Yeah, but I'm sure it's very hard.
That's true.
Yeah,
But
I
she still
mean,
hasn't had a donut.
I know.
sucks.
You can't even eat a breakup donut.
Right? Yeah.
No breakup donut? You
Yeah.
Don't think she didn't, you don't think she snuck one half breakup donut?
I think she probably had like a tablespoon of honey, like wild, like raw honey, and it was
Yeah.
just like
that she
okay.
got herself.
Yeah.
And then she put that on her Instagram
maybe
story.
they're-
Like, oh, to eat some honey that I made.
Or maybe she's eating nightshades. Because Tom Brady wouldn't eat
Oh.
nightshades because of inflammation, and maybe they broke up, and she was like, "I'm eating eggplant parm tonight, bitch." Like,
I'm gonna inflame all of my
yeah,
shit.
oh yeah,
Yeah. it's time to get swollen.
like, yeah,
That's the level that she's on. She's trying to get inflamed.
yeah.
Wow.
I do like the idea of like what do celebrities think of each other and like their perception of each other
Yeah.
because they probably know a bit more.
Here's the
Totally.
thing. I sometimes try to trick my brain into doing that because I know comparison is bad. So then I sometimes think, what if you're like a big celebrity?
Yeah.
You know, like for example, Ke Huy Quan won an Oscar,
Uh-huh.
which was amazing.
Big shout out to Key.
Yeah.
And Harrison Ford presented the Oscar to
Yeah.
the team, the Everything Everywhere All at Once team. So then I'm like, Harrison Ford is the biggest, one of the biggest actors in a generation, the last 50 years, I would say for sure. He's never won an Oscar. Do you think he's like, damn, these guys won an Oscar? Ke Huy Quan hasn't acted in like 40 years and he won an Oscar. I don't know. I don't know, but he's also old as shit, so I don't know what
yeah, I'm sure he's just like, whatever.
Thinking. But
yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? Because then I'm like, oh, if those guys are not really thinking about it like that, I should probably also not think about it like that. I don't know. I was just trying to like rationalize it like that. It's weird.
Yeah, but I bet you they are thinking about it like that. Yeah. I think every human's thinking about it like that.
It's like I'm out here working like 40 years and
I've been doing Indiana Jones movies for 35 years and I still haven't got an Oscar.
Yeah, and he's doing another one.
Yeah, I know. He has to.
He has to.
He has no choice.
He has no choice.
Devil is like, yo, I gave you this.
Yeah.
Because I want to see Indiana Jones.
I need
7.
one more. But yeah, I'm sure it exists. Every level of fame, every level of success, I think you're constantly going to have that. Oh, I wish I thought of that. I wish I was doing that. I wish I won that. Like,
wasn't there like an interview with John Cho a while back when like Crazy Rich Asians had just come out and he was like, no one called me. Like, how did they get all the Asians together? No one called me.
Yeah.
That like, John. Yeah.
That would, yeah.
I want to call John and be like, John, be cool, dude.
Yeah.
It's like
you are
dodged a bullet.
Icon, baby. Yeah.
It's all good. It's better.
Yeah.
Okay. So bottom line, if you're listening, John Cho, we love you. Everything's fine.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Your Oscar vehicle
You're
is coming.
so handsome.
So handsome. Getting handsomer.
Every year.
Come on the show. Come hang out.
Yeah, come hang out.
And I could imagine him being on there, being on here, talking about exactly the same thing, just a cigarette, dark sunglasses, go,
Yeah.
so I was dating this skateboarder for a while. It's just been so hard, man. You know, I love him so much. Well,
he's like, do you guys ever look at Manny Jacinto's Instagram? He's killing it. He looks so happy. I'm not happy.
His cheekbones are amazing.
I was going to say, his cheekbones are wild.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, somebody here knows. I'm sure we're like a half a degree away from John.
I know. I'm actually
got it.
surprised that John hasn't been on yet.
I'm surprised too.
Okay, let's make it happen.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna make this happen. And it all happened because of you, listeners. If you want to have John Cho on, go to patreon.com/AsianNotAsianPod and help
Start
us
a
out.
movement.
And
we're gonna start a movement.
We're gonna start a movement. I want to say thank you to our guest, Delia Cai, for
thanks for
being
having
on
me,
here. I hope
guys.
you had fun.
Yeah, I hope you had fun.
I hope I didn't make you spiral.
My face like hurts from smiling so much.
Oh,
so
really?
It's been really nice.
That's what we
yeah.
wanted. That's what we wanted. Where can our fans find you and your work?
You should follow me on Instagram.
Hey,
Get those numbers up.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Because we don't know if Twitter is gonna be around this time next week. Right?
I know, it's
like
true.
a week-to-week basis.
Yeah. Totally. I hate Twitter now.
I hate Twitter.
Yeah. I think Instagram's best.
Yeah.
Instagram's best. I read all my DMs, so don't send me anything weird, but I read them all.
That's me too.
Yeah. You can always find us on Instagram at AsianNotAsianPod. And you can find me on there at Nice Pants Bro.
And I'm at Jenny Arimoto.
Love that we talked about Instagram and they just plugged our Instagram hard as fuck.
You can follow me on
follow
TikTok.
us.
You can also follow Jenny on. Is it the same?
Same handle.
No, I don't want to keep talking about it. So yeah, that's it for now. And I don't know. Any parting thoughts?
No, just stay tuned for updates on my dating corner.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it up with the dating corner /bracket/
Oh yeah, my
draft,
team, my draft.
and see what happens. Until then, bye y'all.
Bye.